Hello there, it's Karen here and welcome back to my channel and a special welcome to my new subscribers. There have been quite a few of you recently, for which I'm so grateful. Thank you very much for joining us. And today I'm going to be doing some more work on my Boho Journal on decorating the bits of the signature that need it before I take the plunge and sew it into the cover. So this is the one I want to do first. It's double-sided. It's single-sided and printed just onto this slightly thicker paper. It's 100 and I think this is 160. This, but it is white, and we don't want white, do we? So I thought I might just cover it with this dyed blue paper. So I'm just going to tear that in half and just do half at a time, because it's a little bigger than the page, so I just need to cut it down. And I think I'm going to, because what I'll do is I'll have it not quite going into the middle, and I think what I want to do is put some washi tape down the middle, just because I don't want to have to do I mean, I could either do that or ink the middle. I haven't quite decided, but I just thought the washi might be quite nice as a little decorative bit down the middle there. So if I glue it there, then I can just trim it down, can't I? So I think that's what I'll do. I'll put the glue on here. Don't know if that's a big mistake, but that's what I'm going to do. If it doesn't work out quite so well, I will do it differently on the other side, but I'm just going to do one side at a time and see how it goes. And using my tacky glue for this. Otherwise we'll have lots of warpage. And it just gives you a little bit of a very small window to move it round. So I hope everybody's enjoying the summer sunshine. We're not really getting a lot here in the UK. We're getting a bit more at the moment. It's the Jubilee Bank holiday today, or one of them. We've been given 2 days off for the Queen's Platinum Jubilee, so many of us are enjoying the time off, because it makes no odds to me because I'm retired. So, but it does mean pictures at home. Let's try and decide which side I want to use. I don't like that side. It's got to be this side where I started. And we're still house hunting. We're now widening our search even further than we had, because so little is coming up in the area that we're interested in. Now, what do I need? I need a card. So it just feels like it's going on forever. But we just have to remind ourselves why we're doing it and what we need, because sometimes you're almost tempted to compromise too far just to find somewhere, and then you regret it afterwards, don't you? So yeah, not prepared to compromise too far. A bit of compromise, yes, and that may be on we maybe have to compromise more on location than we thought we were. Anyway, I'm not going to bang on about it, it's boring. It's doing my head in. I will tell you when we finally find a place, I'll tell you all about it. Alright, just going to trim this off. And down this side. Okay, that's that one. Let's do the same on the other side. Okay, so I've put the two background pieces on. Of course, they're much too plain, and so that's the boring bit done. I expect that will have been speeded up for you so that we can concentrate on doing a bit of decoration. Now I think what I will do is put this piece of washi down the middle because it's pretty, it goes with the colour, and I just think it finishes it off. So I'm just going to cut that piece off. This is fairly old washi, so I'm definitely going to put some glue on it. But I do love it. It's one of my favourites. It's one that I could easily see myself finishing. I've never finished a washi yet, but there's a couple that I'm quite close to finishing just because they're always the ones I reach for. On the not very frequent occasions when I use washi, but I think I use it more now for this kind of thing than I ever used to when I was scrapbooking. I used to buy it but never really know how to use it, but I think there's more use. People use washi tape more in journals, I believe, than they do in scrapbooking. At least that's been my experience. I'm probably wrong because I'm sure there are plenty of people who do scrapbooking who use washi tape all the time. Just I always used to struggle with it. Oops. I need to pull that down a touch. I haven't quite got enough to get to the end. Only just made it long enough, didn't I? And now it's not straight. Way to go, girl. There we go. I think we're there. Just about long enough. I don't like doing that. I'd rather have it a bit too long and trim it. But almost cut it to the perfect length, but not quite. But there we go. That's fine. And then we'll just fold it. It's tempting to put a piece of washi on the outside as well, but I think I'll probably just ink this white bit. And it's hardly going to show because it'll be sewn in, but I might just put some ink on that. Maybe I should do that next. Probably the vintage photo is the best option, just because it's a little bit less in your face. It'll just soften that white without it really adding any contrast in colour or anything. It'll just blend in, I think. Okay, right, so we've got this, and I could leave it just plain like that because we're going to clearly put pockets and things on it, but I'd like to just decorate both of these pages a little bit. And I think on one side, on this side I'm going to do a little bit of stamping, and I'm going to stencil the other side. Just so happens I have some new stencils and some new stamps to use, so why not use them straight away? And I think they go quite well. So I thought perhaps I might kind of do a soft background layer with some I've got a sepia archival ink, and I thought maybe I'll just do a little soft layer of script, so not too bright. I might do stamp it one on here and then on here, so it's just a background, and then put use the black to put some of this on, which is one of the new stamps I bought, which has got roses, and I might just dot that about a bit. See how it looks. Don't really know, but if you don't try, you won't know. Now the other option is to use, I've never really got on very well with distress ink and stamping. For some reason it works better for stenciling. I'm not sure. You don't get the crispness, but so I think I'll use the archival, even though the colour of the vintage photo I think would probably be nice and soft in the background. But I'll just try doing a bit of this and see how it looks, and if it's too much, hang on, I'm not getting any here. Okay. Yep, just a soft, just a little bit of Again, anything, not a lot, maybe I need a little bit more than that. I don't know. Okay. I'm not pressing too hard. It's more of a suggestion, I think. I don't know if how well you can see that. I'm hoping you can see a little bit. I'm really trying not to make it too dark, and I think that might be enough. Just a little tiny bit more, I think, over here. Here, there we go. I think that's enough. Because chances are this will be covered up by a pocket anyway. But I don't know yet. I just don't know what I'm going to do. So this is it's called Old Letter by the company Woodware. I don't know if they're still going. I've got a few of their stamps. There used to be a craft shop where I used to go and do scrapbooking and things, and they sell mostly Woodware stamps, so that's where I got a lot of my stamps. But they're not there anymore. They've closed. Right, so now I'm going to try and use this one, which is the one with the rose and the leaves and still more script in the background, and I think I might just dot that about, but use the black archival for this one. I did try it out because I had another stamp that I was going to use. It was actually is it called Crafty Individuals stamp, which was a beautiful stamp. No, not Crafty Individuals. What's it called? Oops. Sorry, crashed into my drawer. Visible Image is the company, and it's this beautiful stamp that I thought would be really quite nice on here. But I'd never used it, and I had 2 or 3 goes with it, and I couldn't get a decent image. It's probably me, but I thought, well, I'm not going to mess about. If it's not going to work, it's not going to work. This one works really well, even though this is so much cheaper. It works quite well, so I thought, right, I shall use this one. I don't need it to be a perfect image, just because you get too much of a sort of squaring off if it's comes out too perfect. So I want kind of portions of it, really. I like the rose. Yep. I think that might be enough. Just trying to think if I need to put anything else on. I think there'll probably be a bit more decoration to come. There'll probably be a pocket, maybe ruffle, who knows. I just wanted to make the background a bit less boring, so I think that will do. On this side it's only a single page. I'm trying to think if I need to put anything else on there. I don't know. That'll do. That will do. Okay, now let's do some stenciling. And of course I'm going to use one of my new Tim Holtz stencils. And I will just put it, I think, over the top of here. No, because that's going to make it's not flat enough, is it? I might just get one of my mats. Put this underneath so that I don't get stenciling going over the mat. Okay, and I've decided to use this one, Broken China, just because it's the only, apart from the speckled egg, which is really pale, and it might work, but I thought I'd have it standing out just a little bit more than that and use this one. This is the only one that I've got that will tone with this background paper, so I think I'll just use a bit of that and see how it looks. So this is the doily stencil. So I'm hoping it's going to look really pretty when it's done, when it's on there. I'm going to try and cover the whole page. Alright, let's move it across a little bit. Ooh, that's really pretty. Let's try and... Don't know quite how the crossover bit will be. I'll have to try and do it a little paler in the middle so it just tries to merge. Don't push it too hard so that it just kind of merges into the other side without it having too hard a line. Ooh, what am I doing there? Wasn't supposed to do that. Oh well, never mind. Maybe I'll have to do now a few little spots of the colour on there just so it just looks less accidental. That's quite pale on that side. Maybe I just need to do it a little bit. I can line it up a bit. I can't hardly see it at all now. Maybe it needs just a little bit more here. Okay, kind of works. I didn't want it to have too hard a line between the two sides, but I think I've gone too pale now. There we are. Let's see. That's all right. Not quite enough at the top. Yeah. I think that'll be okay. Just makes it a bit different, doesn't it? I'm going to have to do a little bit of this now. Actually, I think I quite like it. Just a few bits of colour here and there. Adding that extra little bit of colour on here. It's quite nice. Looks a bit odd, but oh well. I think it looks okay. Right, so I think that's enough of that. So that page is done. Right, I will just clear these bits away and then we'll have a look at those envelopes and try and cover those, shall we? So that one is now done and I'll be right back. Okay, so so I've pulled out the this envelope and envelope flip thing that we did with the book page in the middle and this lady on the back. So I need to decorate both of these, particularly this one because the orange in this really doesn't go with the colour that is in the kit. This one is okay, so I don't have to cover that quite so completely, I don't think. But I do have to cover this one. Now what I'm going to use bits of paper from the kit. I've also quite like to use this this napkin because I just think that would look lovely on here. Just a piece of it down the bottom I think would be lovely. So I'm going to use that I think. A couple of days ago I had a really fun old time painting book pages with my acrylics. I have got quite a lot of Dylusions acrylics, as you may gather. It's upside down. And I had used quite a lot of them in various other projects, and in this one I've done one masterboard. I will do another one with you, I think. And I did use some of the painted book pages in that, and it works really well. So I just got all my paints out, and I just went a bit crazy with them. So I've got all colours here, even some that I've mixed together to make other colours. Yeah, I've got a whole selection. It was so much fun. You ought to try it. Just get your book pages out and swish on some paint. It's really fun. And then they make quite good, if you can get the colours to match with what you're working with, it just changes things up a little bit. I suppose you could do the same with inks as well. You could just cover some book page with inks and just give them a bit of colour to match your project. So I think the colour that I've used before, trying to make sure I got it right, I'm not sure if it's this one. I've got a bit of it lurking around somewhere. Here we go. I think this is the colour that I've used before. I think these are coming out a little darker than I did previously, but I think that might be the right tone, so I might pick out that one. This is really, I think I went a bit heavy-handed with this one. I think that may be too dark, so maybe use a tiny bit of that. And I think this is the same one again. I'm not absolutely sure because I've got several shades of this sort of bluey turquoisey colour. This might be better, it's a little bit paler. This is too green. Yeah, so I don't think there's any more there. So I've got purple, I've got all the colours. And that was just so much fun to do. And hopefully I'll get to use them. And then I've got some more here, which I've got some different shades of orange, and I think this might be the colour that I need to use. It's a lot darker, but it's the right tone to go with the kit. So there's that one, and there's that one. I think even that one might work. I think I may have mixed in some white or something with that. And there's a lot of pink and some goldy yellow, which would go with this, but it's the wrong tone, I think, to go with the kit, so it's not going to work. So yes, I've got a whole load of those, which I might use for other projects at some point in the future. But I thought, you know, as this is all about colour, this kit in particular, I thought rather than just using plain book pages, I just kind of colour them to match what I'm doing. Just tuck in here and there. I don't think I want big pieces, but just little pieces just to add a little bit of extra interest. So I've got that, and I've got my scraps here. Well, there's another piece of this. I've got that already. I must have used some of that, so that's that one. I've got the, I don't think, I might use a bit of this on the other envelopes. I've got this napkin that I've used before. This time I've taken the extra sheet of backing off to make sure that I don't have that problem again. And here we go, here's all the scraps. Oh, all my scraps. So, just do one at a time. I'm going to start with this one, and I'm going to tuck in a piece of book page into here so that I don't end up gluing the whole thing together. Will that tuck in? I think it will. There we go, it's just about the right size there, just to tuck that in. And then I can glue on here and not worry, I'm going to glue the pocket shut. There we go, that'll do. Right, so as I said, I want to use that piece of napkin, so I might just tear that off, use my water brush and just go around it. And I think, let's just have another look. I want it to go there. So I think what I might do, I think I need to, oops, give this a squeeze, make sure the water's coming through. Here it comes. And I'm just going to go up here and around. And down there. Let's see how that works. Always trim off a bit more, can't I? So I think that just goes around the edge of the pocket there. Let's hope it works. I've had this napkin quite a long while. It's nice to finally have a project I can hopefully be able to use it on. Let's have a look. It's probably a little bigger than I need. So I'm thinking, oh no, it goes quite well there. I could have probably left a bit more actually. Oh, I wish I'd left more here. Maybe I'll do another piece. I can always use this for something else or in another part of the journal. I wanted to cover the whole of that bottom of the envelope there. Right, let's open this piece up and do it again. Right, I'm just going to go, I'm not going to go around it quite so closely this time. I'm going to take it around here, down here, and then I'll refine it a bit more when I can see what I need. There we are. Okay, so I think actually I only need to take this piece off, I think. So I think I'll go down to there and round through the middle there. So we'll take it from here. And try to do it without making everything underneath it too wet. Let's see if I can just tear that off there. Okay, I think that might just work there. Can always tear off the little edgy bits. Let's take this down a little bit here. Okay, tear that off. Right. Okay, so I'm going to put that on last, I think. Made that a little bit wet there. So all I need to do now is decorate the top half with something. What have I got underneath? I've got a little bit of, oh yes, got some script there. What have we here? I think I want something that goes right across, and then maybe something. I don't want to do too many little bits. Can I put that on there? It's a funny shape piece that I just happen to have, that I tore off from something else. I think it must have been from the last bit that we did. Let's see, that's probably too long now. This is going to go up here, and I don't need it to go down as far as that, do I? Maybe I'll just tear that down there. Just have it going down the side a little bit. So then it covers this little area here. Would that work? Let's see, shall we? Will it work? Will it not? I think I'm going to have to take this piece out for now because I need to see what's inside. Right there. I think that's a bit too bright to go there. Just a bit too much. I need something a little more delicate, I think. Maybe something more like this would work. Got to be wide enough. No, I think maybe, let's have a look. I could just do that piece there. That goes there. Alright, then all I need is another little piece shape there. Maybe a piece of this. I'll have to shape the piece of paper, I think, to go inside around the edge of the pocket. Okay, let's just take these bits away a second. My usual way of doing this, the easiest way, is just to tuck it in. It's a little bit softer around the edges where I put the water brush. Tuck this in right up there and then draw around it. Right up to there. Right, let's try that. No, I don't know if I've made it big enough. Oh dear. I'll have to use another piece. Use that as my template. Where's the thingy gone? It's all trial and error. Mostly error. Okay. Just need the edge. Is that wide enough? I'm hoping this is a wide enough piece. There. There. I think it might just about fit, except it's a little bit too wide now. Of course, here. I'll just trim it down a little bit. Does that go like that? Definitely a bodgy job, this. Might have been easier if I'd done it as a single piece rather than trying to do two pieces to match up. But I think that might just work. Let's see if there's room, if I've left myself the right space for this piece. Yeah, might do. Okay. Not sure about this. Maybe if I put that on top it would look better. Yeah, maybe that would look better if I just put that on top. Otherwise it just looks too blocky. So I think I might just edge this just because it looks... I want to soften this a bit, this edge, somehow. I could just about, I think that might just work. I think I'm going to do it. Okay, no, I don't want that piece, do I? Because that's what I'm putting inside to keep the glue from putting the pocket, going on the pocket. Okay. And then we've got this bit of washi that perhaps will just... I'll just do a little piece of it. I don't really want that as a straight edge either. Cover that there. Okay, let's just put a piece of, put some glue on it. There we go. that around. There we are, just gives it that little edge. When this is dry, I think I'll just trim off these little fluffy bits here. But at the moment, I think I just need to leave it. And also I need to trim off around across the top here, but I think I probably should do that before I start gluing anything on the other side, shouldn't I? So let's just do that. What I might do with the blue one, instead of leaving the envelope as an envelope, I might just cover the whole thing and cut a slit, which would be a lot quicker. Top or probably across the top or down the side, not sure. Probably across the top, I think, just so it's different from this one. And take that out, and that looks okay, I think. I think I'll keep this one this side a bit simpler. Let's try and find a nice piece, perhaps to cover the whole thing. So there is this. It might be a bit too much with the. Yeah, I want to keep it to the blue, I think, on this side, or more bluish. Not quite so orange. What have I got here? I've got anything? No, I've got some of this. It'd be nice to use a bit of that. Okay. It's got both the colours in, hasn't it? Alright, so put that there maybe. Oh, has it gone? Have I gone too far away from the edge? Just a little bit. Right, let's tear this piece down. I could possibly put a little piece of my painted paper just in this corner to cover up that last bit of orange down there. Maybe. Or that would be a bit too small. I've got another piece that might look better. Not all of this, obviously, just to be look better if it's a little bit taller. A bit more intentional, maybe. I'll put that up there. That work? Maybe. Not sure about that. It's a bit too much down here and nothing up here, isn't there? I wonder. Maybe I can just put a little piece of this at the top. Maybe. I don't like this orange down the middle. I've got a problem with that. I think I may have to do more of the washi for that on that join, because I don't like that. So maybe I just bring that over a bit more. Bring this over a bit more. Put that there. And have some of the washi tape along here. Let's see if it's wide enough. Not just about. I think that might just work, so I'm going to give that a go. I think that works okay. Certainly disguises the orange. Okay, this isn't quite right here, is it? Needs a bit more glue. May need a little trim. It's not sticking. Now I've folded it, so I need to put some more glue on. Right, we'll let that dry and do this one. I think, yeah, we'll cover the whole thing and do a slit across the top. So this time I would like to use a single piece, and I think this might be, needing to cover the inside, but I didn't know what I was going to do, so it doesn't really matter too much. That's can always show a little bit. So I think I can just cover that up like that. I know I said I could leave some of the blue showing, but it depends on whether I need to or not. If I don't need to, I won't. I've lost my ruler now. Oh, there it is. Right in front of me. Right, let's just tear this down a bit more. So is that a better width, or is that a better width? Okay. Not the straightest line. Let's see how that looks. I need to pull it over a little bit. It's just a bit too wide. I'm going to have to trim it. Never mind. I'd rather that in a way there was too much than not quite enough. Pull that down a touch. Don't mind the blue showing at the top and bottom a little bit. just a little bit. Oops. I think I might have managed to do that. Right, so that goes there. Kind of, well, they're not going to be together, so it doesn't really matter. I think that looks okay. And then I just need to cover this side with something. Just not quite long enough, is it? Don't want to turn it around because the script's would be going the wrong way. I just have to do a little something else with it. Is that longer? Okay, so my battery died, so I've had a bit of a play around in between, and I've had some lunch as well, so I can't quite remember where we were when my battery cut out. But if I hadn't chosen this, then this is the piece I've decided to put on here, which I think goes really nicely. I haven't quite decided if I'm going to put any more on here, because if I just put it like that in the sort of central, it would be fine. So I think I'll start that way, and then decide if I've got some other bits I could add, because I've had a bit of a play with my punches and things. So let's see how it looks without anything on it, and then how it might look with extra bits added. Right, so that would be fine just as it is, and maybe that's what I'll end up doing. But I wasn't sure about whether I needed to just do a little bit more decoration, so I started playing around with bits of paper and punches and things. So I had this piece. I thought I could possibly just pop at the bottom here, just to add another little bit of colour. And then I thought, well, it looks a bit lonely just sticking at the bottom there, so perhaps I should put another piece of paper up at the top, which I think I might ink up if I do decide to use it. Bit of book page, maybe a flower, something like that. Also, this is using the painted book pages, not necessarily the same way up. And I've got that, and maybe a bit of that. A little one in the middle. Oops, could do that. Something like that, maybe. So this is the big outer punch, and then I've got this one, and I've got various sizes. So I've got another one like that, but I haven't got this one of the in between size, so the 1.5 inch. So this is the 1 inch, and this is, I suppose, is the 2 inch. I haven't got the one that goes in between, so I've only got this one. So I just layer them up, and then I've got this really small one of these as well. So sometimes I wish I could get this one, this size in this one, so I could just layer them up. But I don't think it's a problem just to have a different style in the middle. And I've also got my smaller one of those ones out as well. I've got various sizes of this one too. So just layer them up and see. I've got different colours. Could try. I'm just trying to decide whether that looks okay like that. So I've got that one. I've got that one. I'm not sure about that combination. Could do that and that. Could do. Maybe that would work. Be nice to have another layer in between, but I'm not sure. So, what do you think? I think I'm not very good at just going for one single plain page, am I? That would be the easiest thing to do. I'm not very good at doing the easy thing. I like to make my life complicated. Quite like that there. So I just feel that this should be counterbalanced somehow up here. So I might just try putting a bit of the dried marigold distress ink on here. I think I'll get a brush. Let's see if I can just bring that bit of colour in into this book page. Doesn't need to be very much, just enough to bring in that tone. It's probably hard to see it on camera, but there is a bit of colour appearing. This is distress ink rather than oxide, so it's not quite as strong. Perhaps if I had the oxide one, but I haven't got many of those, so I think that's enough. Just makes it tone in a bit better. And then I'll put that there, and then I'll decide which. I think that's what I'll do, just because. Put that flower there. Now, what should we have in the background? What should we have? Sorry, where's my top gone? There it is. So I know I want that colour, so maybe I'll just put that one on anyway. I think I'll just use the glue stick for that one. I know we want that one. It's a case of which bits you put on top. Whether the orange is a bit too bright. I think I'd done a few of those when I was doing the colouring of these pages. I'd forgotten to water them down a bit, so they came out a little bit too bold. Don't want the writing to go the same way. Yeah, they came out a little bit too thick. And I'd done about half of the pages, and I thought actually I need to water these down a bit to make them not quite as strongly coloured. Because some of the ones I did before, maybe I don't know if I've got any of the ones I did before knocking around. But anyway, so I mean the colour's okay. If you look at the colour across here, this one, and pick it up, it actually matches the flowers here perfectly. So maybe that's the way to go. A little bit of that, and should have a small blue centre, which of course has disappeared. Here it is. So maybe that's the one to do. Okay, I think I will do this gently because it's got little spooky bits that perhaps a little bit more, more delicate. Oops. Okay. So we want this one. Yeah, I think so. I think that's the one for the middle. I don't really want to do one here, do I? Because I end up, the mat will end up all gluey as well. that on there, I think. There we go. Right. So I've got that side, which has just got the single sheet, and this side is just a little bit more zhuzhed up. And then there's this one. And I may put something up here at some point, not sure. Well, this one needs to be trimmed a little bit now, doesn't it? I think I'm going to have to use these. I think that's all right. That looks a bit better. It needs a little trim too. All right, and the final thing, I think I need to put a thumb notch. No, before I do that, I need to cut across the top there, don't I? And then do a thumb notch. Because that is going to be the opening of the pocket. Okay, make sure it actually does open right there. Get my ruler in, make sure it's all open. Yep, that's all fine. Now I can do this. Oh, what's going on right here? Are you working? Let's try again. For some reason it wasn't catching. I'll turn it up the other way there, make sure maybe it wasn't in far enough. Because I can see what I'm doing now, can't I? Okay. Oh, there we go. That's it. Okay, now we've got to get that just back in the journal. Okay, and then that's it. We're done for today. I'm a right old mess now. Let's take this out of the way. And I suppose the next video I'm going to have to face the dreaded sewing in and hope it doesn't go completely pear-shaped. Right, so that's going to go here. I think that works all right like that, and the other side is like that. So I think that'll be fine. Have a quick flip. I keep changing things around, so it probably looks different to when last time you saw it, but I'll just do a quick flip through, and then we'll attempt to sew it in. So I know I've moved this because I just couldn't get it in the right place, but I think that's fine there. That one. Those two there. Then we've got the envelope. And then these two, and then that one. This little one here that we did the other day. So I've got this twice. I've used this quite a bit, or is it different? Looks very similar, but I think it might be a different. Yeah, that's slightly different colour, this one. And then there's this piece that we did earlier today, and the inside of that, and that one here, this in the middle. Let me go back that way. There's the stenciled piece. That goes rather nicely with her, doesn't it, with her hair. And the other side of this little one, tuck spot there. Goes like that. The upside down writing, which I'll have to do something about, I guess. And then we've got this one here. Flips out there. That goes nicely with that. And that looks alright. Yep, happy with those. And then I've got this one here with this big pocket at the side. So yeah, I'm happy with the way they are all now. I kept moving things around until I was happy with them. But I think we're about there. And although some of the bits do still stick out, I may do a bit more trimming, but they still fit nicely in here, so that's the main thing. Okay, so there we are. That's those last two couple of pieces decorated and ready to sew in. So that may have to be the next job. So yeah, a bit nervous, but I'll give it a go. If it all goes horribly wrong, I'll do it off camera. But I will try and do it on camera, just to see if I can still do it. Okay, thank you for joining me today, and I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.